first thing he said to him was, Liv will definitely turn her head.
That's scary.
You know, she's almost bitter because she knows she's never going to get Tom.
I don't really see Liv as someone for me who is in here and is genuine.
Bro, you did not influence me on...
Movie night was a mess. Really a mess. I don't get how the people at fault turned everything round and started to make it seem like they were the victims. I don't get why Tanya was upset with Shaq when she is the one who did the most. I don't get why Olivia felt she was a victim and decided to bring down her crocodile tears because Ron told the truth. Oh my god, this movie night was chaotic. And I hate how the girls are treating Sammy, the way they're isolating her. That I don't like. Anyway, hey guys, thanks for coming in. My name is Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new to my channel, please leave a like and a comment. And don't forget to subscribe. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island, Season 9, Episode 29. So the episode opens and it's still movie night, and the first clip the girls choose is Ron. Ron said the truth about Olivia. I don't get why she's making a big deal out of it, and the fact that she brought out the waterworks and within 2 minutes was already answering the next question doesn't make sense. And I don't get why the girls keep sort of trying to pamper her and sort of make her feel more important than she is. Ron told the truth. She was crazy about Tom. She's still crazy about Tom. And because Tom has shown that he's not interested, this is why she's pretending to have moved on, because she has no one to drag Tom with. She was crazy about Tom because she liked Tom. When he recoupled with Zara, she dragged Zara until Zara left the villa. Then she went for Tanil and she went for Sammy because, in my opinion, I always struggled with why is Olivia picking on Sammy, and I think it had to do with Tom. And now suddenly she's upset because Ron has called her out that she's recoupled with Kai just because she knew she couldn't recouple with Tom. Tom wasn't going to couple with her after Zara left, and now she starts crying for what? I don't get it. And then the next clip, the producers are shady. They knew they had nothing on Shaq. They knew they had nothing on Shaq. Shaq has been very loyal to Tanya. And so they brought out a clip of him talking to Zara. This was way before Zara even connected, I think, with Tom, or just soon after she connected with Tom. So the fact that Tanya is now making a big deal out of it, to me, she's covering up for her mess. She's covering up for, oh, you flirted with Zara after I gave you a cup of tea. And so what? You told Shaq you loved him, went to Casa Amor, were busy flirting and kissed Martin, brought Martin back to the villa. This is after you said I love you. Shaq and Zara were flirting before Shaq said I love you to you. So make that make sense? Why? Why? And Jess is saying, are you going to apologize for what? For what? Has Tanya apologized for how she's embarrassed Shaq? Has she? These girls are very delusional. I'm sorry to say. I normally don't like to swear at people in my reviews, but I think these girls are very delusional and they're very naive, for lack of a better word, because, or they're pretending to be naive and sort of choosing what they want to ignore and what they don't want to ignore and want to hold on to. The guys, Ron is smart because of the big deal that Olivia made about his clips. He decides to encourage the boys to pick Olivia, and I think the girls, I don't understand why they didn't say anything. Sana, yes, she's upset. You could see by the look on her face she's upset, but she chose not to say anything because obviously she's the only one there from Casa Amor, and all the other girls have been together for a long time. So they've got connections, and she knows whatever she says against Olivia, they will turn on her. Kai, I like the fact that he was just quiet. He just kept drinking his drink and just kept quiet. And Olivia tried to, oh, I was, thank God I forgot about him. I've already forgotten about him. And it's like, you never liked him. You coupled up with him so that you could stay in the villa. And she said some of the most horrible things about the other couples. I don't get why the guys themselves didn't question her. Oh, and then she shouts, oh, if you've got any questions, see me after. And who are you to criticize our relationships? And I like the fact that Shaq picked up that Olivia said Kai has already been in the bottom three, meaning she recoupled because she didn't want to be in the bottom three, and she was worried that continuing to have him as a partner would keep in the bottom three and should eventually be sent home. The girls then pick Will. I think Jesse and Olivia, I've said this in my previous reviews, are using tears as a way of getting sympathy, and are using tears to manipulate people, because you can see in the end Will is regretting his actions and is talking about how much he really likes Jesse and what his plans are, and the fact that she keeps crying and says, "Oh, I feel really," and it's like, what did you expect him to do? What did you expect him to do? There were new people there; they were paying him attention. What did you want him to do? To just sit in a corner and wait for you to come back from Casa Amor? I'm sorry, I'm not buying the waterworks from Olivia. Neither am I buying them from Jesse. I think it's a bit too much, and I think they're beginning to sort of um put me off, or they've already. Olivia's put me off, but Jessie, sadly, I think she's playing a game. I'm now convinced she's playing a game, and her game was to come in and fall and pretend to fall in love with Will. And now that that's worked, she's decided to, maybe she had the ick, or she changed her mind and she doesn't want Will anymore, and she's going to drag him until the finale, but she's going to use the public sympathy. That way, when she leaves the villa and she chooses not to continue with him, she can use that as an excuse that I couldn't regain my trust for him, and this is why we're not together. That's the impression that I'm getting. So the guys choose Jess's clip, and it's Jesse sort of saying to the girls, or encouraging the girls to enjoy themselves in Casa Amor and deal with the consequences when they get back. And it's like they are laughing and making light of it. And it's like, but when Ron did the same thing, you were upset with him. You were screaming and shouting, and yet suddenly, because it's Jesse, it's nothing at all. And so Will shouts, it's something minor, it's okay. And Sammy starts going at him. I don't get it. This is why people are beginning to be turned off by these girls, because they are so horrible. The way they're treating the guys is not fair. And then after they've been so nasty to the guys, then they'll turn up and say, "Oh, I really like you and I really care about you." That's not how you treat someone you care about. Because I bet you, if roles were reversed and the boys were to behave the same way the girls are behaving in the villa at the moment, I'm willing to bet anything that people would be, writing to Ofcom and complaining bitterly and everything. But because it's the girls doing it, no one is saying anything. It's okay. The boys just have to sit there and bear with it. That's not fair. The girls called Max, and he said, I said this in my previous review, that you're telling the guys he's open to getting to know a bombshell if one walks in. And Olivia just started screaming, "Oh, I thought you said you were closed off." And Ron went, "Oh, it's always." I think Ron and Olivia are now at war. And sadly, Max has joined the same WhatsApp group as Kai, Tennille, Zara, and now Ron. So they're in the same WhatsApp group, people hated by Olivia. The Tom and Sammy scenario. So the guys picked Sammy first, and Sammy was shown flirting with Ryan. The guys didn't say anything, Tom didn't say anything, and then the girls decided to pick Tom, and Tom was shown kissing Lydia. And I think to the girls it now makes sense why Lydia was crying, but Lydia decided to keep quiet and not sort of open up about everything. I don't get why Jessie was instigating and adding her own two pence into the Sammy and Tom scenario. These girls are making things worse, and they're looking for any way to guilt these boys and make these boys pay for whatever happened in Casa Amor, as though they were angels. They did exactly the same. They might not have kissed. It might only be Tanya who kissed in Casa, but still they were flirting with other people, and they refuse to take ownership of that and decide to focus on the guys. I don't get it. Movie night ends. Sammy is venting about her situation with Tom, and the audacity of Olivia to say, "Well, anyway, let's talk about Ron." And it's like, someone else is in pain. Can you keep quiet and listen to someone else for a moment? She then starts ranting about Ron and how Ron is a fake friend. And it's like, you it's not like Ron lied. You did bring someone from Casa Amor. You were talking to Maxwell. I don't know why the producers didn't show you making out with Maxwell within less than 24 hours. So for you to sit there and say Ron is a fake friend, he lied, he did this, then no, he didn't. He just told Kai the truth, which is what your girls should be doing and should be telling you the truth. And Jessie, suddenly, all the niceness is gone. She's starting to rant about how Ron criticized her for shaking her head and making comments. And it's like, you've been in Love Island before. Sit down and keep quiet and allow other people who haven't had this opportunity to enjoy their time, to make something of their time in the villa. And Ron is telling the guys he's only going to apologize just because Olivia is Lana's friend. If she wasn't Lana's friend, he wouldn't apologize. But just to make peace for his girlfriend, he's chosen to apologize. The guys don't get why the girls are making such a big deal. Tanya, Tanya is delusional. The fact that she shouts, "Oh, I have already told him everything, so I've done nothing wrong," and it's like, this is what I mean, that the girls need to be honest. They need to tell their friends the truth and stop sitting there and just keeping quiet and smiling and lying and sort of, pampering them with lies. Why? I don't get it. Tom sits down to have a chat with Sammy, and I don't get Sammy saying to Tom, "I really like you. This is why I'm so upset, and this is why I'm so angry." And it's like, yes, you're angry, but still, you don't need to make him feel like shit. He's already feeling bad for what he did, and he's told you everything. Lydia has told you everything. By you actually sitting there and watching it, what else did you expect them to say? What else did you want them to say? Else did you do in Casa Amor that you didn't tell them? I don't get these relationships. And she shouted, "We're done." Tom is asking her, "So are we done?" And then she decides, "Well, I don't know." Well, if there were a bombshell to come in, she would be done with him. That's her type. Just because she's only staying with Tom, in my opinion, because this is how she can stay in the villa. For her to throw such a fit, she's not the first girl Tom has linked up with in the villa. Tom linked up with Zara before she came in. Tom linked up with Ellie before Sammy came in. So for Sammy to make such a big deal about it, I don't get it. I don't get it. Tom storms out of the villa, and then Shaq has a conversation with Kai and Sana. I think Sana, she's always with Kai, I think because the girls might be isolating her, or they might just, the way they isolated Zara. And I think this is why she's always with Kai. And I think Kai is making sure that she's okay. And after talking to them, Shaq walks out. That's when he sees Tom, and they sort of try and comfort each other. And it's really sad that Tanya, I don't get Tanya. I know she's wrong. She knows she's upset Shaq. She can see Shaq is upset, but she won't go across to talk to him. She's just sitting there drinking her cup of tea, and it's like, Shaq doesn't deserve this. They need to bring Shaq a bombshell. If he recouples with her, he just needs to recouple with Tanya to stay in the villa. But as soon as a bombshell comes in, he needs to keep it moving, because he doesn't deserve to be treated like crap. The fact that she was upset about the Zara incident and yet can't recognize what she did wrong, even if she told him, she still has to say, "I'm sorry," because he's now got a visual to go with whatever she said. And he is saying she downplayed it. She needs to accept that and apologize. I really like the guys have chosen to stand up for themselves, because Will has a conversation with Jesse, and Jesse, I think she's decided not to use the waterworks, and she's just sat there listening to Will. And Will, in the end, has told her, it's up to you whether you want to continue with this relationship or not. I'm just going to leave the ball in your court, because I think he's being battered and bruised enough that he doesn't need any more of her crying and yelling and screaming and shouting and her whatever else she's planning on doing. And I think the moment he said to her, "It's up to you what you want to do," she was lost, because in her mind, she had him apologizing and groveling and begging and whatever. And when he said to her, "Well, the ball is in your court," she was sort of lost and didn't know what to do. And she just sat there quietly. And Casey, I think, adopted the same plan, because he stuck to his guns that he did not ask Cynthia to go to bed with him, even though everybody watched him ask Cynthia, "Do you want to come into my bed?" And she said yes. Because he was very dismissive, Claudia couldn't make a big deal about it, because he's already told her, "We were both single when we went to Casa Amor, so we were both open to getting to know other people. So there's no need for you to be upset as though we had been dating for a long time." And this left her with nothing to do, because I think the girls were hyping each other up and waiting for the guys to come groveling to them. And the guys have decided to turn this on the girls and sort of ignore them and let them be and see what happens. I wish Shaq and Tom would do the same thing. So Ron then sat with Lana, and they're having a conversation about Ron's comments about Tom, and Lana sort of saying, "No, that was wrong of you." And he's like, "Well, Olivia speaks to everybody like trash, so why should we all treat her like a princess?" No, somebody had to say it. Lana's sort of trying to convince him. And I think he's right that She does pick on people. She does talk to everybody horribly. She wants everybody to be nice to her, everybody to appease her. And as soon as you go against her, then things are wrong. So I get where he was coming from. Olivia's busy talking to Maxwell. She's sort of confiding in Maxwell that she's never going to talk to Ron because Lana is her best friend and she doesn't get why Ron was talking badly about her. And it's like, Ron didn't say anything that wasn't the truth. Olivia, from the moment she walked in, liked Kai. Then Kai sort of sidestepped her and stepped forward for Tennille. And then as soon as Tom came in, because she was stuck with Will, she liked Tom. She coupled up with Tom. And when Tom left her for Zara, she couldn't get over that. And she made Zara's life miserable. And I think she was hoping that Tom would leave Zara for her, but Tom didn't. And once Zara left, she realized that if she recoupled with Tom, then the viewers might not go for her. This is why she went for Kai. And I think her recoupling with Maxwell is because Kai was always in the bottom and she didn't want to find herself in the bottom and having to go home. And for her to suddenly play victim because somebody else has called her out on it, I don't get it. And Maxwell told her, I said I'm moving towards being closed off, but I haven't told you that I'm closed off because she was trying to say, oh, but you're closed off. I don't know why she thinks she can manipulate every single person. I think Maxwell is the one person who's going to manipulate her and play her because he's very calm in his delivery. And so he doesn't give her anything to work with the way Kai treated her. And so she's just left there not knowing what to say. So Kai is by the fire pit with Sana, Martin, and Martin is sort of upset that Tanya misrepresented whatever happened in Casa to Shaq and he misrepresented Martin's actions. It's like, well, if you have an issue, there's no need for you to be discussing it with Kai. Go and address it to where it came from. Go to Tanya and speak to her. And Tanya's avoiding Shaq, and it's like, what do you expect? Do you expect him to come and apologize to you for your bad behavior? Tanya is very delusional. She's just like Olivia because when Ron comes to apologize to Olivia, Olivia's like, I couldn't get Tom. She couldn't get Tom. The whole world, anyone who watches Love Island knows Olivia couldn't get Tom. And that's not something new. And the fact that she's now upset that someone called her out on it, I don't get. So Tanya decides to go to Shaq while he's in bed and tells him that, if this is going to make you walk away, I don't know what else I can do. I've already told you everything. And it's like, you were upset about the Zara incident, which happened weeks and weeks ago. But Shaq shouldn't be upset about the fact that you lied to him, that Martin is the one who kissed you. When you kissed him, you were flirting with him. At one point, I don't think they showed Shaq the incident where she actually took Martin to the kitchen and was trying to get a kiss from him. And so for her to sort of turn this around on Shaq and make it seem like it's Shaq's fault, I don't get. So everybody goes to sleep. Tanya sleeps outside with Sammy because Sammy is upset with Tom. Tanya has nowhere to sleep. She can't sleep with Shaq because Shaq is upset with her. She can't sleep with Martin. Martin is upset with her. So in the morning during the debrief, Tom says to Shaq, I don't think Tanya loves you because if she loves you, she wouldn't be behaving the way she's behaving because Shaq is questioning the fact that Tanya went to Casa Amor, was flirting with Martin, was saying she wanted to chase Martin, kissed Martin, and he's saying if roles were reversed and I did that, she would never want to speak to me. So I don't get why I should just accept that and allow it to sort of slide. And he, Tanya on the other hand is saying, I'm going to let him know that the ball is in his court. He needs to make the choice. And it's like, seriously, what's wrong with Tanya? Ron has a conversation with the guys. He says, he will apologize to Olivia for making her cry. And that's it. And also for Tanya and Maxwell's sake, that's why he'll apologize. And he said it before. He said, I'm not sorry, but I will apologize because she's Tanya's friend. Olivia, on the other hand, managed to bring in Kai, Ron, and Tom and make it all about herself. Oh, why did he say the comment about Tom? I would never say anything about anyone. And it's like, please, that you think that you now have a problem with Maxwell because he said he's still open to getting to know bombshells. You've barely known the guy a week. Why should he be closed off? You've recoupled with so many people. So just because you brought him back from Casa Amor, he now owes you his life in the villa. Is that what you mean by saying I took a risk by bringing him back with me? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Jesse and Tanya, seriously, they're now in the same WhatsApp group as Olivia. Tanya's telling Will, oh, she's done all she can. There's nothing else she can do. It's up to Shaq to decide what he wants to do. And it's like, ma'am, later you were upset about Zara, who Shaq didn't even kiss, who Shaq didn't even share a bed with, but just flirted. When you flirted with Martin, you kissed Martin, you went to bed with Martin, you kissed Martin in bed, and you're saying that Shaq is making a big deal of nothing. And the fact that Jessie also, in her conversation to Will, I think Jessie thought she had the upper hand, and when Will told her, you need to make a decision and stop stringing me along, she's suddenly now playing victim again. And it's like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. Because are you a victim or are you an empowered woman? Which one is it? Let us know so that we know which one we're dealing with. Shaq and Tanya sit down for a chat, and I don't get why Tanya is now turning this on Shaq and making it seem like it's Shaq's fault that he is not moving on and he's holding on to things. When she's asked, do you love me? She won't give a straight answer. Shaq told her, look me in my eyes and tell me you love me. She didn't, and Tanya's playing games with Shaq. I wish Shaq could move on. I wish Shaq could find somebody else. I hope with the two new bombshells coming in, he will pay attention to the girl, although they look like a brother and sister, reminding me of Chaz and his sister in Love Island, USA. But hey, we'll see what happens there. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Bye everyone.